This is an executive education program on implementing public policy. It's a program that is intended for real-life difficulties that people are dealing with, where they can come and they can discuss the things that make public policy implementation hard. They can learn from each other, and they can learn from some of the luminaries in the field. It's really for anyone who's involved in implementing public policy. You could be in government, you could be at any level in government, you could be in civil society, you could be in non-profit organizations, you could also be in the private sector. And the goal is actually to bring that broad set of people together, partly because our observation is that public policy implementation involves very diverse, very big groups of people, and it's getting those people to talk together that is half of the challenge. This course is a little bit different. In many executive education courses, people will come to Harvard for a week, they will learn new things, they will take those things away. Policy implementation requires more than that, because it requires that the person who comes here to Harvard engages with the challenges that they have at home before they get here, but in a new way. So we're going to have an online learning process that happens before you even get to Harvard, where we're going to be prompting you to think about your implementation challenge in a new way. Then you come to Harvard, and you're going to work with people who are like you, but coming from governments across the world, sharing their cases and learning new ways of engaging with the cases. Then you're going to go home and take the new ideas and apply them. We're going to be engaging with us on your experience and on what happens, and we're going to be coaching you in continually learning during that period of time. Then, once you graduate from that process, you're going to become part of a community of practice where you will be sharing your ongoing experiences with other people who come through this, so that you can all learn over the long run how to implement public policy better. At the Harvard Kennedy School, we have lots of executive programs, and we teach a lot of things. What we found is that a lot of people were saying it's not so much about those individual things that matter. It's when they come together in implementation challenges that we want to learn about. We find that there aren't many people who are already doing this work anywhere. They aren't offering this kind of course that can help people kind of sew all of those pieces together. And part of the reason is that we think that people simplify the process of policy implementation. They think that all we need is a good policy, and then, hey presto, it gets done. I like to think that it's like assuming that policy implementation is doing a box of Legos. And this is my box of Legos with Star Wars Legos. And the idea is, well, we identify our policy, we have a box, we open up the box, and the first thing we find in the box is our guidelines, and our guidelines is our plan, and all we need to do is follow step by step. Even beyond that, we can go into the box and we find all the pieces we need, put in a beautiful little bag for us so that we know exactly where they are, and we just put them together as it tells us. Well, one of the problems is, what happens if you don't have a box? What happens if you don't have pieces? What happens if you don't have the plan? And this is the reality with much of public policy implementation today. There are many, many problems which we describe as complex or wicked hard problems, where people haven't done them before. They haven't solved them before. We have to work out how to bring the pieces together and how to learn how to start from scratch and implement regardless, because our people need that. And this course is designed to not assume that we know how to do them, but to get people together to talk about addressing these issues and learning how to implement complex policies that are really impossible. If you're frustrated, if you're looking for new ways to implement public policy, or if you're dealing with new public policy challenges that you don't know how to implement, this course is for you.